As it turned out, the ancient technology was very successful.
Two figures indicate the success here. In 1982, the village's largest pond, in local parlance the flower tank, irrigated 50 acres. Now it irrigates 700. That's a 14-fold increase based on what the ancients knew.
And what's more, the example set by Laperia can serve not only as a role model for India, but for other arid regions across the planet. Looking back in time, India's 5,000-year-old tradition with cotton has the subcontinent blooming and booming again. Nearly 200 years ago, it helped spark the Industrial Revolution. And today, this unrecognised contribution has India poised to regain its first place in the global textile market, providing the world with the fabric of our modern lifestyle. This is the Chandi Chowk Bazaar in Old Delhi. For thousands of years, traders came here to find something only India could offer. A fabric so versatile that when its virtues, soft, fine and airy, were revealed, the demand fueled an economic surge that changed the world.
I'm standing in a sea of a product that made India bloom and boom. Everything in this market is made of cotton. Deep within these colourful fibres is another untold story of India's contribution to our technological past.
Cotton was first domesticated 5,000 years ago in the Indus Valley, a part of ancient India that is today located in western Pakistan. Each fibrous bloom is called a bole, which contains many tiny seeds. Rich in vitamins and oil, ancient farmers fed the seeds to their livestock long before the true treasure of the plant was discovered. Called wool-bearing trees by the Greeks, cotton plants were traded across the ancient world, but few devised an efficient technology to mine their magic. Cotton seeds are extremely difficult to extract, especially when ginned by hand. But the ancient Indians had already invented a more efficient mechanical device millennia ago. The churka uses two rollers, a mechanism similar to an antique clothes wringer, which pinches the cotton balls, pulling the fibres from the seeds. Modern ginning machines borrow the principle from the ancient churka, which was the standard ginning tool for nearly 4,000 years. When in the 18th century the Europeans tried to mass-produce Indian quality cotton cheaply, something unforeseen happened. European inventors stimulated the Industrial Revolution, launching the age of machines. And although machines were able to replicate most of the legendary Indian process, one crucial manual step was never duplicated by a machine. Long ago, Indian craftsmen pioneered a tool that gave their cloth a unique quality. The origins of the spinning wheel are somewhat obscured, yet the earliest recorded appearance was in India. For millennia, thread was spun by hand and with simple spindles. Then, around 1,000 years ago, the spinning wheel was developed. It was a simple, yet enormously efficient technological leap. The wheel turns the spindle, which gently twists and collects the thread. The spinning wheel was so efficient that in skillful hands the normal daily output could be doubled, and yet the legendary quality was retained. Heavy industry may never be able to replicate the softness and quality of thread the spinning wheel produces. Indian fabric made in the traditional way is treasured today in much the same way it was revered by the ancient traders. Yet when spinning was industrialised, it changed the way we live. This mass-produced, easy-to-care-for material, which though not as soft as hand-spun fabric, could now be shared around the world. Today, cotton is the pivot point of a modern lifestyle.
Without cotton, none of us would have t-shirts or wear our favourite pants. Blue jeans!
You wouldn't think it, but 40% of our clothing contains cotton. With centuries of deeply rooted experience, India is once again poised to become the world's leading supplier of this ancient material.
Into the production area.
Thank
Please.
you. Thank you.
In this vast modern processing plant in Alwar, 2 hours' drive southwest of Delhi, Prerna Syntex processes 800 tons of cotton per day. A far cry from what a farmer could produce with a churka. Here they spin some 10 million yards of thread a day, more than all the spinning wheels in India could have produced in a year. The technology that is likely to have originated in India hundreds of years ago is now re-imported from Germany, Japan and Switzerland by way of these modern machines, with the processes becoming ever more efficient.
We have made the cotton ready.
I came to realize how much ancient knowledge contributed to the importance of the marketplace, where not only goods but ideas have been bartered, exchanged and spread around the world. For thousands of years, merchants have come to buy, sell and trade here in the bazaars of India, returning home with Indian cotton goods, new ideas, perhaps ingots of raw wood steel, and of course the famed Indian spices so coveted around the world.
Many of these spices have medicinal properties. In ancient times, most medicines came from plants. According to the ancient Indian physiological texts, the state of one's health can be attributed to one's eating habits.
Science has shown that some plants have curative powers. Willow bark is the basic ingredient for aspirin. Spices like garlic are believed to boost the immune system and help with minor ailments. Drawing from these ancient prescriptions, herbal medicine has become big business not only in India, but worldwide. Native spices and herbs are mixed in a variety of combinations by more than 8,000 pharmacies. Global demand is difficult to calculate, but herbal products in India alone constitute $1 billion market. Herbal medicines are distributed in more than 20,000 dispensaries nationwide. But the use of herbs and spices is only one step towards health in India's comprehensive medical philosophy. Near the sacred Ganges River at the Kripalu Bagh Ashram, I found the ancient Indian healing practices still very much alive. This ashram houses an Ayurvedic clinic that treats hundreds of patients a day. Ayurveda in Sanskrit means the science of life, which defines health as total well-being. A medical diagnosis therefore does not only focus on the immediate symptom, but on the patient's relationship with food and herbs, the weather and the seasons, and even his or her personal relationships. Ayurveda was the first system of medicine to appear in the world. And finally, after 5,000 years, this holistic approach is now embraced in the West. Yoga, which is one of the most important aspects of Ayurveda, has become very popular.
I'm here to learn what I can about Indian medicine. Since it all began with yoga, yoga's where I begin. Let's see what they can teach me.
I joined the class at a crucial point. They were just getting ready for a breathing lesson. Ancient yoga principles emphasize the importance of deep breathing and muscle control. Recent findings indicate that yoga boosts the cardiovascular system and relieves anxiety. it seemed to work. The yogic breathing exercise, though a bit unusual, invigorated me immediately.
Well, it may look simple, but I've just learned that breathing, which is one of the foundations of yoga, is a complicated business. I have a lot to learn.
Hepatitis B को मैंने ठीक किया, इसे मैं मानता हूँ.
Yoga master Ramdev Ji took the time to tell me more. As a medical technique, yoga's goals are to restore the flow of vital energy around the body, to treat a variety of illnesses.
और इससे हमारे हार्ट के ब्लॉकेज से लेकर के कैंसर.
These old-school methods have recently had to withstand our Western benchmarks of science. Yogi Ramdev Ji thought a demonstration would best make the point. Postures and stretching appear to increase circulation to the limbs. Deep breathing induces relaxation, and with practice you can gain control of muscles you never knew you had. While yoga has reportedly helped patients suffering from afflictions like asthma and arthritis, the long lines of people at this clinic were clearly hoping that Ayurveda could do much more.
I couldn't think of a better way to learn about Ayurveda than to become a patient of an Ayurvedic doctor. So I scheduled an appointment with Dr. Gaval. Hello, can I come in?
Please.
I have a prescription letter.
Yes, please sit down.
Thank you. I would like a checkup.
Okay,
I'd like a
please.
general
From
Ayurvedic
where?
checkup, please.
From where?
Australia.
Okay, I tell you what is Ayurveda.
Dr. Gaval explained that in Ayurveda it is all about your humours.
विज्ञान है.
Good health has to do with the balance of internal forces or doshas.
एक तरीका सिखाता है हमें.
But to begin with, Dr. Gaval started like any Western doctor would.
Chest, okay.
He listened to my heart and lungs.
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, ठीक.
Okay.
Then he switched to Ayurveda.
First of all, I see your nails. It's good.
He examined the colour and texture of my fingernails and eyes, which could indicate a dosha imbalance.
Just like I have.
The pulse examination was the clincher.
My nose.
Since 13th century Vedic texts, pulse examination is one of the oldest forms of medical diagnosis.
Pitta and cough.
Each of the three internal forces or doshas pulses through the radial artery. Dr. Gaval's index finger read Vaya, which stands for air and ether. His middle finger picked up Pitta, that is fire and water, and Kapha, earth and water, registered on his ring finger.
Then your nadi is completely fit now.
Thank you. Okay.
ठीक है? You are totally fit.
Oh, I'm glad to hear.
Once he had pronounced that my doshas were in balance and that I was in good health, Dr. Gaval taught me some of Ayurveda's little-known accomplishments.
शरीर में सम है.
It was amazing to learn that hundreds of years before European medicine, Ayurvedic doctors had already developed a remarkable range of specialties. They included psychiatry, pediatrics, ophthalmology, toxicology, gynecology, and surprisingly, surgery. As it turns out, the ancient Indians had designed surgical instruments and developed unprecedented operating techniques centuries ago. Recently, one of their ancient techniques, which was once used to repair a punishment for adultery, has become rather popular.
Leaving a single line.
Throughout India's history, even medicine has taken its twists and turns. Tracking the legacy of the ancient Ayurvedic surgeons led me to one of Delhi's largest hospitals. I had arranged a meeting with Dr. Lokesh Kumar, a plastic surgeon. Familiar with Indian medical history, he assured me that one ancient Indian invention in particular was making a lot of people very happy today.
In ancient times, the standard punishment for adultery was removal of the nose. This gave ancient surgeons plenty of opportunities to practice rhinoplasty, or, as it's more commonly known today, a nose job.